Thank you for your time. So I want to start if you can tell me about Picarro's activities in the industry, please.
We are very focused on natural gas and in particular on gas distribution. And our key activities is in supporting safety and emissions reductions for natural gas.
Okay, from your perspective, what are the areas of opportunity for the use of natural gas in the context of the global energy transition?
I think that natural gas is extraordinarily important in the global energy transition. And I think that people are at risk of not appreciating how important natural gas is, because the infrastructure is there and all of the participants in natural gas are committed to a greener gas, are working very hard to improve the posture of gas in the global energy transition. So I am very, very positive and hopeful about what our partners and customers are doing and what we are in a position to contribute to their greening of natural gas and to the long-term future of natural gas.
And over this same subject, specifically talking about Mexico, what are the main development opportunities of using natural gas in this same context of energy transition?
I think in Mexico in particular, there is a significant investment in large cities, in the natural gas infrastructure. And there is now, thanks to the work we have been doing in natural gas over the past 10 years, an opportunity to ensure significant safety improvements and significant greening. By greening, I mean emissions reductions improvements. So all aspects of natural gas in Mexico can be improved rapidly to support a global energy transition. This is why we're here, and this is why we're working so hard with our partners in natural gas in Mexico.
Okay, thank you. So, what are Picarro's methane emissions management solutions, and what does each consist of?
What it does and what it consists of is a transition from estimates to measurements. And once you're able to measure all of your emissions, you have the basis to reduce them. So the key contribution at Picarro is on emissions, and it is in particular to be able to find the biggest emissions. People have known for a long time that emissions in natural gas distribution come from a few large emitters. For the first time, Picarro has shown over the past 10 years worldwide that we can find them, fix them, and reduce emissions by doing that. It's quite important and quite revolutionary.
Definitely. So, going deeper, what are the benefits for an industry like the energy sector to have control of these emissions, these concentrations of greenhouse gases?
The key benefits are that now there is much less emissions from the distribution infrastructure, and so it has a very significant contribution to the global energy transition because it makes natural gas a much better energy and it improves safety. So as you reduce emissions, you make it a better energy capability and you make safety better. It's extraordinary, and it's thanks to these very new technologies that have been deployed over the past 10 years by Picarro.
Okay, so how do these benefits translate in terms of monetary savings for your clients and the profit for the company?
Every one of our clients and partners have an entry in their income statement that is called lost and unaccounted for. It's the amount of loss of gas that they're allowed to charge to their customers. But the infrastructure in Mexico is such that oftentimes they lose more gas than they're able to charge the customers. So we have an immediate return on investment by finding the large leaks, thereby reducing the amount of loss, thereby saving them a lot of money, allowing them to be good citizens, to make natural gas better for the environment, and improve safety. It goes 1, 2, 3. They save money, they become better at reducing emissions and pollution, and they make their infrastructure safer. 1, 2, 3 together.
Okay, and for the company?
For the companies, it means that they're able to spend less money to fix their infrastructure, and they're able to save money from the standpoint of gas going out in the air, which is money that they're losing because the infrastructure used to leak too much.
Okay. And how do you apply these solutions in the specific needs of Mexico?
In the specific needs of Mexico, what we do is we drive the infrastructure, so we completely understand where the difficult situations are, where the leaks are, and where the large leaks are. Because every gas distribution infrastructure has leaks. What we're able to do is to find the few leaks that have large emissions, the few leaks that can be a safety risk out of the many, many leaks that exist. And it's not specific to Mexico. It is true everywhere in the world. But it's very powerful now to have the tools to find what we say is the needles in the haystack, the few leaks that are important, either from a safety or from an emission standpoint. That is revolutionary, and that is our contribution to Mexico.
Okay. And what are the main challenges that Picarro encounters when developing these gas detection solutions, and how do you face them?
The main challenges are to convince our partners to change themselves, to operationalize this new approach. And it's a challenge because it's an education process. They need to see that it will be beneficial to their customers in Mexico. They need to see that it will be beneficial to their shareholders, and they need to convince the regulator. So we have to work in an environment where there are many stakeholders, but what we find is that when people understand this, when people go through this process, there is no looking back. Every single customer in Mexico, in the world, that has started working with us has gone all the way, has moved away from their traditional methods to the Picarro methods, and it's so much better. They change completely.
Okay, this is really, really interesting. And how has been Picarro's evolution from its conception to today to adapt to the needs and technological changes of the industry?
The biggest evolution for us over the past 10 years is you're our customers, you have taught us the business. So 10 years ago, we had this extraordinary new technology, but technology is of no interest unless you develop around it all the capabilities to solve real problems that exist in natural gas in Mexico. And so we spent 10 years learning the business, 10 years embedded with our customers, so that we could answer their questions. What do you need? And the questions you're asking me are the most important ones. How does it translate in savings for the customer? How does it translate in safety improvement? And how does it translate in making natural gas the best fuel it can be for the energy transition? That's what we spend all of our time doing, translating this great technology into real solutions that are actionable in today's environment in Mexico.
Thank you. And what is Picarro's role in the efforts to achieve the decarbonization of industry, talking about global and here in Mexico?
So in Mexico and globally, decarbonization is about ensuring that we minimize the amount of emissions of methane from the infrastructure. And our contribution is simply revolutionary. We are the only way worldwide and in Mexico that our partners reach net zero. Net zero means that we reduce emissions as much as possible, 80–90% from the baseline, and then the last 10% is offset by green credits, net zero. That's what we do.
Okay. What are the company's plans to continue developing the industry in the future in medium and long term?
Our plans are beyond this. First of all, within distribution, to make sure that all parts of the distribution infrastructure, we are of resource to our customers. So our customers have main pipelines, service pipelines, hookups to the customer, they have reg station, they have many parts that need to be taken into consideration to help with leakage. We want to do all of this. We want to be a complete partner for them in distribution. And then our ambition is to help them in storage, in transmission, in other parts of the natural gas infrastructure.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add, you consider important to talk about a little more?
Thank you for asking. I want to make the point that I am finding very thoughtful customers in Mexico, very well informed customers that are eager to ensure that natural gas will be a part of the Mexico solution for energy transition in 20 years, in 30 years, in 50 years. And I am convinced that they're right, and I'm convinced that their thoughtfulness and their investment will be the key to ensuring that Mexico is very successful and is a significant contributor to a good energy transition. I'm so impressed by the customers we meet with. It's an honor and it's a joy to be in Mexico. Muchas gracias.